Morning, Gigi.
Yeah, I actually was going to call you for the simple reason I want to find out, have you had any dialogue with Angela yourself?
Not for some time.
When was the last time you actually spoke to Angela?
At that Chinese restaurant that day.
What are you talking about, a Chinese restaurant?
I was having dinner with Danny one day, and she just kept calling and calling and calling, and finally I went outside to talk to her.
And what'd she tell you?
All the same old shit, same shit y'all always do.
All right, well, so let me understand. When was this? When did this happen?
Years ago, George.
Was this happening when you and I were talking, or was this happening when you and I were not talking?
I don't know, George. We've always been talking as far as...
No, we've not always been talking. Is this when you made the alliance with those trolls that she was calling you?
I've never made an alliance with trolls.
You made an alliance with the trolls. You told them my bit. When did she talk to you? When was the last time she spoke to you?
It's been some time, George.
Guesstimate.
I mean, over a year, I'm sure.
Okay, so that's when you and I were. Yeah, that's when you were, doing what you were doing with the trolls. You were, and you're trying to be part of the inner circle with the trolls, and she was not talking with me. So what did she say to you verbatim?
George, how could I remember? She was.
Was it about me? Was it about Jamie? Was it about Kevin? Who was it about?
Well, she was telling me about Jamie, but Jamie at the time didn't mean much to me. I didn't know all about the...
She told you about Jamie. And what did she say about Jamie? So this is before the trolls knew about Jamie, right?
I think so.
This is before the trolls knew about Jamie, and she told you everything about Jamie in her mind.
George, you got to understand something. It was so long ago.
Just think. Try to think.
I mean, George, it was years ago. I remember I got up.
It wasn't years ago. It was only in the span of 3 years.
But George, that's quite some time, isn't it?
Not really. 3 years is not that long. 3 years is 3 years. It's really not that long. I mean, it's a what did she? So my question is, this is a crucial thing. Did she start talking about Jamie before the trolls ever knew about Jamie?
I don't know. I know she's telling Brian all about Angela.
I'm not talking about that right now. I know she's running her mouth right now. I've got someone that's tracking her right now. But I want to know exactly what was said over and beyond. Before the trolls ever knew anything about Jamie, was she talking, or was she talking during the same time that they knew about her? To you.
She's telling Brian that Jamie was not your first victim. There have been many women you have abused. She also told Brian that you were violent.
Yeah. First of all, okay. Whatever. She has no knowledge, or whatever. She can say whatever she wants to say. Okay? I don't give a fuck what she's saying. Look, so you don't know when that time was.
I mean, it was an eon ago, George. She called to bitch about you and how she wanted to be with you. And
how she what?
Wanted to be with you. She wanted that Gigi inside her.
Well, no. Come on, be real. Be real for a second.
She wanted.
She wasn't talking to me. She wasn't talking to me.
But she was talking to me.
All right. Was this before they knew about? I'm tired of repeating myself. Was this before they knew, or this is after?
I believe it was before.
After or before?
Before.
So then that's when you went and told them about it.
All I ever did was tell the trolls about Jamie. That's all I did. Was tell
you told the trolls about Jamie from what Angela told you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the fuck up. That's where you cannot be trusted.
All I did was tell the trolls Jamie's name.
Yeah, because of what Angela said to you. So you can't be trusted either. It's obvious.
This was 3 years ago.
Look, no, 3 years ago is when I met you.
And
a year after that, you flipped.
What's Angela's number? I'm gonna call her.
A year after that, you flipped again. I don't know her number. She's disconnected her number. But I just emailed the bitch.
Brian has convinced Janice to be deposed and to give evidence.
What evidence? What evidence? I laugh at that. This woman, the mother, the dialogue I had with the mother was a simple dialogue. I was very emotional on the phone, with her on the phone, very emotional. And she and I reflected and shared some moments about her daughter. And then, I spoke to the mother for about a week. And then she said to me, look, it's unsettling. Nothing against you, but I just would rather not you call me again. And I said, fine. She said, it has nothing to do with you. I'm sure you're a nice guy. And I know you cared about my daughter. It's just unsettling to me to talk about it to a complete stranger. Surely you understand. And I said, yes, ma'am, I do, and I'm sorry. And that was it.
Well, now she's convinced you were a crazy rapist.
Excuse me?
Now she believes you were a rapist.
Based on what? Based on a lie? Based on a fucking lie. Is that correct?
Yes.
But I'll answer the question for you. Yes, based on a prefabricated lie. Based on a manufactured lawsuit that this foreigner has created. Based on a prefabricated story, based upon a manufactured lawsuit that this motherfucker has created.
Oh, George, you won't...
Who in their right fucking mind, with any scruples and an intelligence, would buy that? I don't give a damn if a suitcase of money was thrown in my face. I would say to myself, wait a second. This is dirty fucking money. Now, yeah, there's a suitcase of fucking money that's sitting there in front of me. But I would think for a second. I said, wait a second. What facts do I have? There's not enough facts that I have, and I'm not. It's like what you would read in a fucking novel, what you read in a fucking book that someone paid for something. Someone paid for someone to try to buy someone, to do something and say something. That right there, if it goes in front of a judge, and if a judge sees that this motherfucker who was related to another case, this motherfucker that was tied indirectly to another case, would clearly see that it has no merit whatsoever upon the fact that he paid the bill. The fact that he paid the bill has everything to do with it. Not alone the contradictions. Not alone the fucking contradictions that are being dropped left and fucking right. Angela doesn't help the situation. Angela doesn't help their situation by telling them what they're telling them. This brother doesn't help the situation by him bad-mouthing his sister. The fact that he's bad-mouthing his sister doesn't help for their case. Doesn't help for their case whatsoever. So here, they clearly gave a shit and cared for that woman, not dare bad-mouthing, not dare airing dirty laundry, and yet the brother who's defending her honor, who's defending his sister's honor, is trashing his sister. Trashing his sister and saying a bunch of shit, going against the narrative and then changing the narrative. That right there it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take a man with much intelligence to figure out that this is all a bunch of nothing. This is all just a way to attack someone, to attack someone's character, over a personal opinion and a personal hatred towards somebody.
George, he's been sent copies of your credit file report that shows you're destitute and that you were lying to him all along about hiring private investigators and having the money to file.
I don't give a god. First of all, that's a bunch of shit, because guess what I just did? Last week I've got a fucking Lifelock on my goddamn stuff. So I dare that son of a bitch to go in there, because if he goes in there, we'll catch the son of a bitch. I have Lifelock. I have a thing that I paid for. So I double dare that bitch to do anything. I've got, well, no, it's not Lifelock, excuse me. It's a credit bureau that will alert me if anybody's pulling my credit. So if someone's pulling my credit, it will let me know, and then they will be alerted to the channels they're being.
George, you can't get, what the fuck are you talking about?
What I'm talking about, a numbskull, is quite obvious. I will be alerted. I will be alerted when someone pulls my credit against my wishes.
George, I have the Lexington Law Firm.
Excuse me?
I have the Lexington Law Group.
Okay, well, that's who I spoke to.
Yes, I have a real firm, George.
No, the Lexington Law Firm is not you.
The fuck it's not. I work for them.
What are you talking about?
I work for the Lexington Law Group, George. I do credit repair for those people.
Okay, well, I don't care what you do. That's who I spoke to.
What's your username and password? I'll log in.
They told me and I didn't create one yet, but I've already told them that I want to start this up.
Well, George, it's $120 a month. You can't afford that.
You don't know what I can afford.
How can you afford that?
All right, man. So this conversation is going nowhere. All right. So I wanted to know. You haven't answered my question, but I'll surmise the fact that
what is the question?
I've asked you the question 20 times,
and I've said it was before. BEFORE.
All right. Well, then I'll surmise it to be that, but it's not.
He called me at a Chinese food restaurant. Danny and I were having dinner, and she was going off about how much of a piece of shit you were.
Okay. Well, I just emailed the bitch this morning, so let me see what she says. I told her that Angela May Bolton, her maiden name, and her whore sister, the fact that she has a whore sister, so if she wants to keep calling Jamie a whore, we'll put her whore sister in the spotlight. Angela's sister. So I told her she's best to shut the fuck up. And I'll get her fucking, I'll tabulate her fucking whore sister and see if she keeps calling Jamie a fucking whore. We're gonna highlight her sister.
Well, tell me about Angela's whore sister. How old is this?
Well, I don't. All I know is that she does the. She was doing heroin as well, and she was taking people's money. I forget the fucking lady's name. I got to look back at the emails and whatnot. And she was hooked up with some guy in Washington State. And then her and Angela went out on an excursion, and I've got to go back to the emails. But
so she was a lot like Jamie, it seems like.
No. Look, I'm not getting.
I'm just telling you what you told me.
I don't care. She has no room to judge anybody when her sister's a whore. Her sister's a fucking whore, and she has no room to judge anybody else. And I'll bring that out. I've already told her in an email she needs to shut her mouth. She's done enough damage.
I mean, George, she's just trying to reach out to you. She wants the rod. Sometimes you have to fuck some people to make them happy.
If she wanted the rod, she wouldn't fucking stab me in the back. If she wanted the fucking rod, she wouldn't stab me in the back and go running her mouth off.
I mean, she may have made some bad decisions, but that doesn't mean she's a bad person. Good people can do bad things, can't they?
Yeah, you would know, but you're not a good person yourself either. You would know about that, but you're not a good person either. Look, I gotta go, man. Seriously, I gotta go. I gotta work.
Why are you angry with me?
I gotta fucking go. Because
why don't you try to make things up to the brother?
Listen. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Okay?
George, why don't you try to make things up with the brother, George, even just for the sake of stopping this shit from happening?
I already talked to the brother as much as I could, and the brother was telling me that I'm not doing anything, and haven't done anything pertaining to defending him and his family. I said, there's nothing I can do. I don't have the wherewithal to do what I can do. I said, I've already gone through this. He said, well, at least they bought me this and helped our family. You weren't able to do it. I said, because I can't at this point. I can't. I'm not at that point where I can help you that way. This guy's buy is he said, well, that the bastard who gave him, bought them groceries and all that. That's bribe. That's bribe. That's buying